Obviously, Chelsea spent a fuck ton of money
in
the transfer market. They've pushed it to 106 million for Fernandes.
Ridiculous.
Insane.
And there's an interesting list come out. The top 10 most expensive Premier League players up until that point. They've obviously they haven't put in the other Chelsea signing of that window. But when you look at the top 10, Fernandes, Grealish, Lukaku, Pogba, Antony, Maguire, Sancho, Lukaku again, Van Dijk, Fofana. Only Van Dijk of the top 10 has actually come good so far. Obviously, there's some that are yet to come good. Antony might come good, etc. Fofana might come good.
Won't.
But the point is it? Are we saying now, like, if you have that kind of money, that is there any point in putting all your eggs in one basket these days in the transfer market when it doesn't seem to pay off if you're looking at the top 10?
I think Todd Bowley is going to bury Chelsea. The man is insane. He's an American billionaire who plays too much football manager while stuffing pizza in his face. I'll tell you this. I think there should be a rule, right, where a football club should not be allowed to pay more than £80 million for a player if they can't prove that they knew who he was last year. Enzo Fernandez, not one person at Chelsea knew who he was last June. Don't tell me they did, because they could have got him for $8 million from River Plate last fucking June. No way is he turned into a £105 million player in 7 months.
It's ridiculous.
They spent last summer bidding $50 million for Anthony Gordon and Romeo Lavia just because he scored against them. It's ridiculous. And Mikhailo Mudryk, don't be backstarted on him. And you know what it is about Chelsea? It's the contracts. 7, 8, 9-year contracts. That is going to destroy them. All the players they bought in January, not Premier League proven, not a single one of them. They've got as much Premier League experience as my fucking grandmother. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're on 9-year deals. Badiashile got a 7.5-year deal. He's not even in their Champions League squad.
I can only relate to this when we gave Alan Pardew an 8-year deal. Didn't go.
It doesn't work. It
didn't work.
No, and you know what it is, right? These players, they might not all flop. Some of them might be successes, but some of them will flop. And they are on... How are you ever going to get rid of Mudryk if he is a flop on £100,000 a week on an 8-year deal?
He'll be on loan for 7 years.
That's it. He's Marco Marine, same initials as well. But it's... Do you know what it is? And it's not even... It's the existing players too. Raheem Sterling, Brian, your favourite player. He is on a contract until he's 32. He's on nearly 400 grand a week. He's been playing week in, week out since he was 17. Ooh. What sort of burnt out sludge pipe is he going to be when he's 30, 31?
Sludge pipe.
How are they going to get rid of him?
And the problem is they've also got a manager who we're not sure on him. I'm looking at 22 games managed, 9 wins, 6 draws, 7 losses.
Not sure.
It's not looking like he's turning the corner with them.
It's hard, though. It's hard.
It's a whole new team, so you have to give him time. The point is, though, you've given a massive amount of trust, and it might go wrong.
I don't want to sound like a prick, because before we came in, I was having a great chat with your mate Josh, who is a Chelsea fan and a Potter fan. He came from Brighton Hove Albion, and he's got a 5-year contract. Under Abramovich, nobody got 5-year contracts. Jose Mourinho got 3. Tuchel got 18 months. Mm-hmm. How are you going to get rid of Potter when he turns out to be a mid-table manager who's just the next English great hope? Gareth Southgate was the next great English great hope when he was at Middlesbrough.
I think there's going to be method to the madness. I think there's going to be... I don't know what it is. I know it's a massive risk that Todd Bowley's taken, but for something inside me tells me there will be a method to this madness. Because I just think like billionaires like him, they're people that just don't lose. Their whole ethos in life is to win. And I feel like he's not going to allow this to go under. And I know some things are not in their control. I get it. It's financial. But I think they've assessed every single outcome.
When you're spending that amount of money and you're still playing Havertz as a number 9, that's where I'm like...
but they've tore up this season. This next season is where things start. This season...
Well, then why have you pay €15 million for a loan deal for João Felix, who's going back to Spain in June if they've torn up the season? Do you know what I mean?
I think they've torn up the season, personally. They're gonna ride out and try and get into the Champions League, but I think what they're doing now is for the future, hence the long contracts.
They're probably not going to get Champions League football, though, as well.
Come on.
And that's another problem where you're allowing a Spurs or a Newcastle or someone like that who really has not competed with you in any way on a financial level to then be able to go to these players in the transfer market and go, we've got Champions League football, Chelsea have it.
Brian, can you imagine if Brighton get Europa League football while Chelsea have finished 9th under Graham Potter after stealing their manager halfway through the year?
Do we think he'll turn it round, Potter?
No.
It's too big, this job.
So when we talk about Todd Bowley, we're ignoring the fact here that when you're a billionaire from like selling products and investing in tech startups or whatever he's done, it's a completely different game to, firstly, football, but also the Premier League. And you can't just transfer knowledge over from other businesses into the Premier League because in all reality, bringing that many people into a club in a 12-month process is never going to yield positive results. The other actual scary thing is that the signings have not made any sense. The order of the signings, the prioritization of the signings, the amount for the signings, the length of the contracts. Why is Aubameyang even in your squad and you spent 500 million? It should be mathematically impossible for him to be in your team.
I do think that one of the main criticisms I'm hearing from Chelsea fans is that what is Potter's plan? What are we doing here? And
his plan is to survive. That's his plan, is to be like, how do I get through this as long as humanly possible? And really, he's going to end up getting a payout and end up at a team like Everton because there's no way to salvage this. I think also there's a difference in terms of like the types of coach. Like, I don't think Arteta would work in like a Manchester United type team because I think there's like environments where you can coach and there's environments where you have to manage. And you need, for a team like Chelsea, you need an Ancelotti. You need someone who's going to take all these personalities and make them all feel special and guide them. They don't have that right now. They got someone trying to figure out a style of play for them. It's just like, they don't need a style of, they know how to play. They know, like all those players that they had from the first phase are top quality players that have just been completely mismanaged and left hung out to dry.
Maybe I'll direct it to three of it because maybe I'm not gay because I'm Irish, but what is it about him as this up-and-coming English coach? What has he done?
Who?
Got pride.
Graham Potter?
Yeah.
it's a
He was
style of
fantastic
football.
at Brighton.
What did he do? They got him to play pretty football and finish halfway down the league. Is that it?
No.
Because Alan Pardew...
on small wages.
I will tell you, Brian, your favorite boss, Alan Pardew, right?
Fucking hell.
He reached 2 FA Cup finals, okay, with Crystal Palace one and West Ham the other. He finished 5th with Newcastle. A Newcastle team with fucking James Perch right back. No, Danny Simpson right back.
Perchinio.
Yeah, and Mike Williamson a centre back. Yeah. Those are achievements that Alan Pardew did, and he was talked down as a joke on this very channel.
Yes.
Potter didn't get Swansea promoted. Spent 7 years in the Swedish Hills and finished 10th with Brighton.
7 years.
What do you mean? But he kept Brighton up every single year. They were never really in the conversation of going down every single year. They were playing great football. He coached good players and made them better.
And they started playing top teams off the park as well.
Well, you know
there was times where you'd watch Brighton and they would embarrass like Manchester United, for example.
Playing pretty football is nice, but I would imagine at this table that nobody's a fan of Brendan Rodgers, who did the exact same thing at Swansea City.
No, but it's not.
Would you have him as
I think we were at the time though.
At the time, and you've been proven wrong. Am I too far in the future? Do I already know that Potter's going to fail?
Well, I mean, we're not disagreeing with that, but saying that pretty football...
I actually sounded like a proper...
You can't implement that pretty football automatically means it ain't going to work out down the road. I mean, Pep Guardiola's living proof that it can.
I think... We started the stream by waxing lyrical about Sean Dyche, what a great job, and he's the man for Everton. He plays the most dullest dour football,
he's the man for Everton right now.
The situation they're in.
3 years' time, in 4 years' time, we could be looking at it and be like, we need someone to kick this on.
Do you not think
actually we're stable?
Big clubs want pretty football, though. They want attractive football.
They need pretty football as a part of their market.
Yeah, it's their brand, isn't it?
You can't just get away
Everton
with
don't need that right now. They need, by any means necessary.
But Chelsea have never played pretty football, except under Carlo Ancelotti a couple of years. I mean, Chelsea are a winning machine built on success.
There's certain clubs that suit particular types of managers, and Potter is never going to be a Chelsea-type manager. They don't have the infrastructure and support to give him an opportunity to actually...
They're not a project.
No,
like
they are not.
He keeps saying we're a project. I'm like, mate, who you kidding?
No, but this is what I'm saying.
600 million. That ain't a project.
We got the wrong managers. Spurs should have had Graham Potter. We're more of a project club, and they should have had Conte again. They should have took him back. We're not the type of club that brings in these short burst managers on big wages and tries to win things.
I was going to ask that. I was going to ask, where's Graham Potter's ceiling? And you think Tottenham's the best he could get?
I would have taken. I don't know now. I would have taken him before Graham Potter instead of Nuno.
He's aged terribly in the last 6 months. Terribly.